first, just the story of this season for you guys. I mean, just from game one to now, just what have been some of the biggest things that you've noticed out of this team and just how they've been able to get to this point?
This team is unique in the fact that they almost hate losing more than they like winning, So they work really hard to try to avoid taking those losses. And, we had a loss early in the season in Walnut Ridge, and I think that really turned stuff around for us. The next week we played Osceola, and we played without Dennis, and they played well without him, so it gave a lot of kids confidence and kind of just rolling since then.
Well, and then even going back to that loss to Walnut Ridge, I mean, what do you remember just after that loss, maybe something that, how you guys were able to come together after that? I know you mentioned, being able to play well without Dennis and that giving confidence.
That team was so big and physical that we held our own against them, and I thought we had a chance at the end, and I thought we were as physical as they were, so that gave us confidence that we're pretty physical up front. And the way we handled that loss, after the game and responding and came back and worked really hard at practice next week, I knew we had a special group at that point.
And then, kind of fast forwarding, to the playoffs and just, game by game, and even before that, I mean, just that thriller here, against Mark Tree, just, I can imagine that being such a boost for you guys, kind of going into the playoffs.
I said all along that our conference was just brutal and it was a tough conference slate, and, surviving that conference play and just playing battle-tested teams week in and week out. By the time we got to the playoffs, we were battle-tested, and it was just another game for us, and like I said, almost like a conference game. Just got to go in there and try to find a win and keep playing.
Absolutely. And last week, obviously such a close game. Just how were you guys able to come away with that one?
Confidence. I think the kids were confident all the way through. Even when we went down by one with 4 minutes left, they came to the sideline and they were still confident that we was going to go down and score. So their confidence was what really pushed us through.
And now, looking ahead to Friday, just, looking at, just the opponent, coming up. Just what stands out to you about them, and just what do they bring to the
they're a physical team and they're an athletic team. They fly around. They play really good defense, and they really get after you. Then offensively, they got weapons all over the field. They're very similar to Mark Tree in the fact that they got playmakers all over the field, and so we're looking for a similar type matchup as we had against Mark Tree.
Absolutely. And then just this week in practice, just what are some of the biggest things that you're emphasizing to these guys?
Defensively, we're going to be in the right spot and be lined up right and play disciplined football. So we're really going to make sure we're in the right sets for formations and, the mental part of the game. I think the physical part's going to take care of itself. Mentally, we just got to be locked in.
Absolutely. And then finally, just, talking about, because I believe it's the first time, right?
First time making state championship.
I mean, just how huge is that? I mean, not only for these guys, but just the school as a whole.
It really hadn't set in on us yet, because we're just so focused on this season and playing that next game. So as soon as Friday night was over with, we started focusing on Bigelow, and we kind of been focused on that. So it hadn't quite set in yet, so we'll see.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, anything else you want to add about the matchup for these kids, or anything I forgot to mention?
I'm just so proud of these kids, the way they battled through this year. We've had more injuries than most years I had as a head coach. So those guys always stepping up and making plays, and the young guys stepping in playing. It's been a special year.